Hey everybody, this is Travis of BlackRingTactical, and today I'm going to be showing you how I lubricate my AR-15 bolt carrier group. I have already cleaned it in my solvent tank, and I know that not everybody has a solvent tank to clean their stuff in, but if you have a rag with some Hoppe's number 9 or whatever your favorite solvent is, you can get in there and clean this up as good as I have it. So what I'm going to be doing is using Black Rifle Balm from Cherry Balm's Weapons Lubricant. It is a very difficult product to find now. I've ordered more and I haven't received it yet. I'm still trying to get a hold of the company, but I'm afraid that maybe they have went out of business. Second to that would be TW25B, made by Milcom. This stuff is made for the military, and from my understanding, it is a machine gun grease. Doesn't say that on the back, but that's what I've heard before, and I know that this stuff works really well. If you don't have any of that or you don't want to use grease, the other thing that I use is just regular break-free mil-spec CLP. This stuff has been around forever. It kept my guns going when I was in the service. It'll keep my guns going here. But for my personal favorite is Black Rifle Balm. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bolt itself and get some of my Black Rifle Balm here. You're going to see where the bearing surface is on the bolt, so I'm going to coat it generously with the grease, like so, okay? And I'm going to take that and insert it into the bolt carrier. Now, it's very important that when you install your bolt into the bolt carrier, your extractor is about the 10 o'clock position because you need to line that up with the hole in the bolt. So after I get that done, I take the cam pin and coat this generously in grease. Let's go all the way around. Nice and ooey gooey, right? Okay. So once I get that done, stick it in the hole like this, rotate it 90 degrees. All right, once I have that done, let me get a rag real quick. So once I have that done, I'm going to take my firing pin and insert my firing pin into the back of the carrier here. When you do that, make sure that you push all the way down so that the firing pin is seated. From there, we're going to take our firing pin retaining clip and insert that. Sometimes these are very, very difficult to install. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to sit there and say it's not going to go in, something's wrong, something's broken. I assure you that some of these are extremely difficult to get in. Some of them, like mine, I got lucky with this one. It's not flared out in a huge way, as you can see. There we go. But if yours is really flared out and it's really hard to get in there, just keep trying. You got to wiggle, jiggle, turn it sideways, stand on one foot, do whatever you've got to do, but it will eventually go in. Okay, so once I have my bolt carrier group assembled like this, I'm going to pull out on the bolt itself. I take more of my Black Rifle Balm and I coat this cam pin on both sides nice and generously. Now you're also going to see right here, these are your bearing surfaces for the bolt carrier itself. So I'm going to get some more lube and apply just like this. And the more that you shoot your gun, the more that you're going to see that there are wear spots where the finish is wearing off of the bolt carrier, or you know, the bolt, whatever you know, what have you. Wherever you see metal wear like that, go ahead and put some lube on it. All right. Okay. So we've got that. I'd like to just put a little bit more in here. I know that some people are like, no, you don't need to do that. Well, I don't really care. That's how I've always done it. All right. So wipe that off a little bit. Okay. So from here, like I said, nice, good coat. Get everything nice and juicy. Clean off any of the absolute excess if you have some. Okay. From there, I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to grab my charging handle. This is something that is overlooked a lot by people, is to lubricate the charging handle. So if you see right here, all of the finish is worn off. It's all worn off on the side right here, a little bit on the top, a little bit right there. It's just how I pull the charging handle back and forth and the way that, you know, my gun is together. So with this, I'll take and I'll paint some of the grease on there all the way around, paying special attention to the areas that have a high amount of wear. A little bit up there too. All right, and just for fun, you know, maybe just a tiny bit right here. A little bit of this Black Rifle Balm, or really any grease, goes quite a long way, but there, got that nice and coated. Okay, so once I have that done, I'm going to grab my upper receiver here. And I know that it's kind of redundant, but I will put a little streak, I don't know if you guys can see that, right down in here where that wear mark is for the charging handle. And then I'll dab a little bit more into here. And you're going to see wear marks on the inside of your upper receiver. So go ahead and put a little bit of grease there. I know that this is quite a bit, but in my experience with running ARs for many, many years, you can't really over lubricate these things. They do like lube. If I'm going into a very sandy, dusty environment, okay, maybe I will, you know, skimp a little bit on the lube, but I'm not in a sandy, dusty, dry, you know, Iraq, Afghanistan type of environment. So I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of grease on my gun. They like it. I've heard somebody one time, a famous firearms instructor, said the wetter the better. I don't remember who said that. I wish I could give credit to him, but I believe that. Okay, so now that I have all of this done, I'm going to insert my charging handle, just like so. I'm going to take my bolt, and I'm going to put just a little bit. I'm going to start at the extractor, and I'm going to put just a little bit, very light coating on the bolt lugs. Now, when I was in the Army, I had an NCO that saw me do this and proceeded to scream at the top of his lungs because he said that this was going to do something like create more pressure in the gun and blow the gun up or something like that. Obviously, he had no idea what he was talking about. I always put a little bit on there. Yes, it does make the chamber sticky, gooey, oily, whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay. Insert this, send it home, and that's it. So now you know how to lubricate an AR-15 bolt carrier group. All right, thanks for watching and stay safe.